there was a picture of Andrew Yang, who was running for president
Right.
at that time, and the caption said, "Short Round is all grown up and running for president." And then the Daniels thought, "Oh wow, I wonder what Key is doing." So they went online and searched how old I was and what I was doing.
Wow.
And yeah, thank God for that.
So you will have to thank Andrew Yang in one of your speeches.
I did.
Oh,
I did.
You did? Okay.
I met him at an AAPI event, ran up to him, and I said, "I want to thank you." And he had no idea what I was talking about. And I had to tell him the story. And he go, "Okay."
Okay, sir, that's enough.
Welcome to the actor's side, and boy, what a story this guy has this year. I think it's the comeback story of the year, and so well deserved. Ke Quan, welcome to the actor's side, and of course, co-star of Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you are winning everything all at once right now. Golden Globe, Critics' Choice Award, LA Film Critics, New York Film Critics, nominated for 2 SAG Awards, Independent Spirits, and of course the Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards. Congratulations!
Thank you. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't think any of this would be possible.
Yeah.
I remember the day when I decided to get back into acting. It was a conversation that my wife and I had for over a year.
Wow.
And she says, "Ke, are you ready to face rejection again and again?"
Actors
and that
too.
scared me.
Yeah.
That scared me. And that's why I didn't make the decision lightly.
Yeah.
But then, when it was then that I realized that I didn't want to one day look back and regret because I wasn't brave enough to give voice to this dream I had for many years. And it was when that fear of regret overwhelmed any fear I had of stepping in front of the camera again. That was when I decided, I want to act again. And honestly, I mean, everything that has happened since, it's just been incredible. And I cannot believe that I am an Oscar-nominated actor. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Do you ever have every actor, and you've been an actor for 40 years at least in front of the cameras, has that kind of dream one day? Did you always practice your speech in front of the mirror ever?
Oh, well, not in front of the speech, when I'm taking a bath. It's I mean, ever since I was a kid, I would watch, 2 shows every year, the Golden Globes,
right,
and then the Oscars,
right.
And every year, I would dream about being in that room with all of them.
Ah, wow.
And I would fantasize about, what it's like in a tux, in front of, all those people that I admired.
Yeah.
And, grew up watching, loving them.
Yeah.
And when during a time when it was difficult for me to get a job and I had to step away, all that dream that I had started slowly fading away. And it was so far away that I didn't think one day it would come back and to this, it's so surreal to me. Every single day I go to sleep feeling very grateful, but I would wake up the next morning questioning whether all this is a dream.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, your Golden Globe speech, particularly, I thought was just a textbook example of how to give an award speech because it was so heartfelt. And it wasn't a list of, thank yous that you're reading off a piece of paper. It was so real. It was so great. And there you are at that thing you've dreamed about, standing on a stage in front of all these people.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty amazing.
It's pretty, I live in a culture where, it's very hard for us to share our struggles.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was much younger, definitely I did not have the courage to be this honest. Yeah. And one of the greatest things that came out of this honesty is hearing so many people come up to me and said, wow, I feel you. I am you. Like you inspire me.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing.
So amazing.
Yeah, I did not expect this.
Now the Daniels, who directed Everything Everywhere, I understand they stumbled upon you on Twitter when they were really. This is becoming a new way of casting, social media and different things.
Yeah,
but somehow they came upon you on Twitter, and that started it rolling.
It was somebody made a joke, and thank God they did that. Like there was a picture of Andrew Yang, who was running for president at that time, and the caption said, "Short Round is all grown up and running for president." And then the Daniels thought, "Oh wow, I wonder what Key is doing." So they went online and searched how old I was and what I was doing.
Wow.
And yeah, thank God for that.
So you will have to thank Andrew Yang in one of your speeches.
I did.
Oh,
I did.
You did?
I met him at an AAPI event, ran up to him, and I said, "I want to thank you." And he had no idea what I was talking about. And I had to tell him the story. And he go, "Okay." And the great thing about it, I think when I met him, he hasn't seen our movie. Yeah. But then I think a week later, he said, "Everybody go see this movie. It's a great movie."
I love it.
So, yeah, it's great.
When you get that kind of a role and you look at it, I heard you actually kept it secret from your family.
Yeah.
When you were making this, you didn't tell them that you had even made this, and this is a major role.
Yeah.
Why would you not tell your family?
Because one, they saw me struggle for a long time when I was much younger.
Yeah.
I felt, for some reason, because they were also very proud of me when I was a kid. And as I got older and I couldn't get any job, I felt like I let them down. I felt like I've squandered, the opportunities that my family, my parents gave me, especially for getting all of us here in America, the land of opportunities.
Exactly.
So for the longest time, I felt like I let them down. And when I decided to get back into acting, I didn't know if it was going to work out or not. I didn't know if, one, I could land a job.
Right.
And second, if I was any good.
At like age 49 or something.
Yeah, 49.
After working with the giants in the industry when you were 12.
When I was 12 years old, I started at the very top. And
Steven Spielberg, Richard Donner, you name it, you were there.
Yeah, first movie, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Second movie, The Goonies.
Yeah.
Like, it can't get any better than that. And sure enough, it was all downhill from there. But I mean, again, this is incredible. So that's why, like, I was just afraid that I would disappoint them again somehow. And so when I got the job, I didn't tell anybody, only my wife, my attorney, who was Chunk from The Goonies,
right?
Jeff Cohen, and my agent knew about this.
That was it.
And I was also afraid that I would get fired a week into the movie, where the Daniels realized, oh my God, we made a horrible mistake by casting Key. And I didn't tell them about it until the day before our trailer dropped. Because I knew they were going to see it, and I didn't want them to find out on the internet. I want them to hear it from me.
Yeah.
So I called each and every single one of them. And I called my mom, I called my brother, my sisters.
Wow.
And I said, I have a news to tell you.
And what was their reaction?
They were so surprised. They were so surprised, and they were so happy for me.
Yeah.
And when they saw the movie in the theater, they called me. They said, "Wow, Key, you're in this movie a lot." You're like one of the main characters. And I said, yeah. And their reaction reminded me when I was much, much younger.
Wow, that is so that's so cool. Who's going to the Oscars with you then? Yeah,
Well, my wife, who
yeah,
always believed in me, she
yeah,
was the one person that told me I can do this.
right.
Uh, Even when I was wondering whether I could, get another job,
Right.
she said, "You can do this." And even when I questioned whether I would get this role in
Yeah.
this movie, after I auditioned for the Daniels, when I didn't hear from them for 2 months, 2 excruciating months,
Yeah.
my wife would tell me every single day
Yeah.
that, "Key, don't worry, you will get this part."
Wow.
And I was, as the days went by,
Yeah.
as the weeks went by,
Yeah.
I said, "How do you know? Why are you saying that? Why?" And he says, "One, you said this role is written for you.
Right.
And second, I've never seen you wanted anything as badly as this."
Yeah.
And
And welded to be.
yeah,
Welded to be.
yeah.
You were inspired by Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes, I
Actually,
was.
right? You saw that,
Yes.
and I can see why. I mean, that was an incredible movie. I
Yes.
love that film. And you're seeing opportunities for Asian actors that hadn't existed on a big way. And there's a big, giant hit movie, and you look at that and say,
Yep.
you can do it.
Yeah.
You knew it, though. You have that confidence, I think, in your talent.
I think it was the FOMO that really got me. I saw that movie 3 times in the movie theater,
Yeah.
and of course it was a movie that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that movie, even though I had nothing to do with that movie.
Sure, yeah.
But I was just so proud of all the work that they have done
Yeah.
over the years. And when I saw that, I said, maybe it's time to give this dream that I had for a long time
Yeah.
a chance, another chance.
Wow.
And little did I know that there is this little movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, waiting for me around the corner.
Somewhere, you never know what's going to happen. You're an immigrant. You came to this country. It's a classic American dream story
Yeah.
that you have. How did you decide you were going to be an actor, though, initially, going on auditions that led to that first movie with Steven Spielberg?
Well, I
directing?
didn't go looking to be an actor.
Yeah.
I was, just like a normal kid going to school every day. At my elementary school, I was 12 years old at that time.
Right.
I've immigrated here to Los Angeles in 1979.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, as fate would have it, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas was looking for a Chinese kid to
Yeah.
be short round.
Right.
And they went everywhere looking for him.
Wow.
Couldn't find him. Almost gave up the role when they decided to have an open call in Chinatown, Los Angeles. And my brother went to audition. I tagged along.
Oh.
And I was coaching him what to do behind the camera. And the casting director saw me and asked me if I'm interested in reading for him. And I said yes. And the next day, we got that, fateful call from Steven Spielberg's office.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Spielberg and Lucas and
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. We
Yeah.
saw that wonderful photo of you at D23, I think, with Harrison Ford this year.
38 years it's been.
38 years, I know. You should be in the next Indiana Jones. They already shot it, but whatever.
I made a joke. I saw Harrison Ford at D23 and Kathy Kennedy at the same event.
Producer there, yeah.
And I ran up to Kathy. I said, oh my God, Indy 5 would have been so much better had Short Round been in it. And of course that was a joke. But she was so gracious. She says, "Key, what you have now is even better."
I would say she's probably right.
Yeah.
It's the way things work out there. The interesting thing about that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom movie, it's historic in the movie business. It created the PG-13 rating.
Yes.
I mean, after that movie, parents went and go, "Oh my God, they're pulling out hearts and things." And based on that movie, they created a whole rating.
Yeah. Not only did they created a whole a rating, but it was also the first time two big filmmakers, put an Asian face up on the big screen in a big movie.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And no filmmakers has ever done it before.
Yeah.
I'm so used to seeing somebody who looks like me on screen, in a minor role or in a more stereotypical role.
Sure.
And so it was so nice to have such a big role in such a big movie.
Yeah.
And saving Indiana Jones' ass. I mean, it can't get any better than that.
It's amazing. No, you had in Hollywood history people like Marlon Brando and, Alec Guinness playing Asian characters.
Oh, yeah.
That never happened now. The world has evolved, even though they're great actors and, and brilliant at what they do. It is much more authentic now in the casting.
Yes, and honestly, I've used this word over and over again in the last year, but I'm so grateful to Hollywood for the changes that they have made. I'm also so grateful for the people that came before me, who showed that there was a way back for me. Yeah. It's so ironic because the last few months, a lot of members of the AAPI community have come up to me and thanked me for giving them inspiration when in reality, it was them. Yeah. It was them, through their own success that I look at myself and I go, wow, I can do this again. Yeah. So it's been quite thrilling, Pete.
It's pretty amazing, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I saw it. I didn't see it at South by, but we had someone review it there. But I went and saw it in a theater, a real theater in Playa Vista near where I live. And my wife said, you better call and, you better go online and get tickets or something. I said, there's never anybody that goes to this theater. Don't worry about it. But they said, all right. So I look it up. I could barely get a seat. And it had been open about 3 weeks. And I'm going like, wow, what is it? And I sat there in that audience and they were rapt. This audience was into it. And it went on like that for week after week after week. And I just saw it again this week. I went to a theater. I wanted to see it again. It's been re-released because of the Oscars and everything. And it was once again on a weekday matinee, packed with people. Yeah. They can't get enough of this movie. Yeah. It's a communal experience watching it.
Yes, yes.
What do you think that is? What did it tap into?
Well, I think one, the Daniels made a wonderful movie. Second, it's also the message. The big heart it has, it's about kindness. Yeah. It's about empathy, acceptance. Yeah. We did a Q&A and the Daniels said this. They asked him, what do you want to do with your movies? And they said, we want to change lives. We want to change the world. Yeah. And if we cannot change the world, if we can change one person's life, then we've accomplished what we set out to do. Yeah. And guess what? They did exactly that. They changed my life. Yeah. So that's why I'm so grateful to the Daniels. Yeah. And also to, I've met a lot of people in person the last few months and just having them come up to me and tell me, how much they resonated with our movie, how much they are impacted by it. It's the greatest feeling. The greatest feeling, yeah.
That's so amazing. And you, for all those years, you look at your resume, filmography of things, there's a gap of 20 years about. With nothing on camera, but you were working in the business. You went to USC. Yeah. You worked on X-Men, I think. You were an assistant choreographer. Exactly. All these different jobs. You stayed in the industry.
Well, because I love this business so much. I love the craft of making a movie. In fact, actually, it's better. That's why I could have not played Wayman. Had it been given to me, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Right. And when I went to USC Film School, prior to that, I was looking at movies through a very narrow lens. Right. Through an actor's lens. But when I went to film school, it opened up my perspective. Yeah. And I was able to appreciate all the different elements that go into making a movie, all the different departments. For example, the camera department, the editing that goes into it, the props, the production design, and I'm just so grateful that I have all of that.
What's so amazing to me too, when I think about SC, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas have their names on buildings over there on that cinema school. Right.
No, when I went to film school, which was from 97 to 99. Yeah, I walked, and it was a surreal moment for me because one, I was so lost prior to that. I was lost, I was confused, I didn't know, I didn't see a road ahead for me. Right. But walking onto that campus and seeing those buildings that had, the Steven Spielberg building, the George Lucas building, and also to be in the company of people who share the same passion that I have, who also speak the same language that I speak,
Right.
was really, you know, it was great, and yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, you know, you're an example of never giving up the dream. Really, never giving up. Never giving up. Staying in the business, no matter what you have to do to stay in the
Yeah,
business.
and you know, and if my story says anything, is that
Yeah.
you know, dreams do come true, Pete. You know, even though it's taken more than 3 decades for me, but hey,
okay,
if you're
though.
patient enough,
Yeah.
you know, they come true.
You're working all the
Yeah.
time now. Electric
Yeah, I just
State.
finished Lecture State with the Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers,
Yes,
who are
yes.
producers as well
Yes.
of Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
Loki on Disney
Loki, I'm
Plus.
very excited about Loki.
Yeah.
You know, when our movie came out, and it was during the pandemic, I could not get one single job, Pete. I kid you not. And then when our movie came out, it changed everything.
Yeah.
And the first person that called me after our movie came out was Kevin Feige.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was unbelievable. And he says, "Keith, I saw your movie. I loved it. You were great in it. Now, would you please come join the MCU family?"
Oh,
and I was like, "What? Are you kidding? Wow! Like he was like one of the greatest and the most successful producer asking me this." And yeah, and again, I had the best of time, and I'm so happy now, Pete.
Oh, we're happy you're happy, and we're happy to have, that you're back, because you've got a real talent, and
Thank you.
it's great to show it again. Thanks so much, Keith, for joining us on the Actors
Thank you.
Side.
And also, I want to thank you and all the critics in the world. You guys have been so kind to our little movie. And without you guys, I mean, honestly, I mean, you guys play such a big role in helping the audiences discover our movie. And I'm grateful.
Oh, thanks, man. You heard that. Okay. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.